Hey guys, it's your clan leader Dutch here. I'm just going to wait for the game to start the loading screen and finish up, and then I'm going to give you some reasons as to why I think you should put down Destiny and maybe pick up Warframe.
Operator, I am very worried.
Alright, for starters, if you watch here, I come in and what I'm able to do is I'm able to purchase all of these Warframes or create blueprints for them that I get through material. There are a large selection between primary weapons, secondary weapons, and melee weapons. Swords, bows, spears, heavy machine guns, rocket launchers, whatever you could possibly fathom, you can use it as a weapon in this game. If you come here, you can actually join a syndicate, which is the same as a faction, and it provides a lot more better loot than the one in Destiny does. You can add mods to your weapon that makes it shoot out twice as many bullets per trigger fire. Really strong weapons, such as in this instance the Vacor Merlock. Really cool animations to it. If you come here, you can notice that I'm marked by the Stalker, Gristog 3, and Zanuka. I'll get into that later on. There's storyline missions, alert missions, which give special loot. There are syndicate missions, which gives you more syndicate rep, no more grinding for it as much as you do on the Future War Cult for that special shader. There are invasion missions, in which case you can tick off a certain faction, such as the Corpus, the Grenier, etc., just like we have the Hive and the Fallen and things like that. Except in this instance, they try to track you down if you tick them off enough. If you notice what I'm doing here is I'm going through all the planets. What you can see is there are a lot more missions you're able to choose from here in Warframe, a lot more map layouts. They all have level advantages with specific syndicates, and the mission types are very different compared to Destiny. There's a lot more diversity. No more sitting around waiting for Dinklebot, am I right? Here you can join the clan. As you can see, I've made Goat Gang here. I can go through my roster. There's a separate friends list and a separate clans list roster. I can advocate clan titles to every clan member and what they're able to do within the clan based on that. If you notice, my under warlord is titled HNIC. I'm titled Dutch, warlord being the head of the clan. If you notice, there's actually clan space. They call it the clan dojo here, which is something we've all been waiting for in Destiny, and they've never implemented it. And once this loading screen gets through, I can show you actually what all you're able to do within a clan dojo. On a side note, something I did not include in this video, two things actually. One, your ghost in Destiny, think of that as your sentinel in this, except your sentinel can provide specific mods. For instance, if my shields drop, my sentinel can restore half of my shields at expense of his, damages the enemies, and if he dies, there's actually a chance he drops good loot. If you notice as I'm moving through the dojo, I can build a dueling room right there, which I have not done yet. All these rooms are customized. You can pick what room layout you want to connect with that door, and certain rooms have certain functions to them. Another thing I never mentioned was there are Arcwing missions. You actually get to fly around in a three-dimensional map. It's really interesting. Think of it as ship battles, except you're more of a flying unit. There are obstacle courses in the clan dojo. I built an elevator here because the business gets done at the bottom and the social events are done at the top. Yes, I know. What I've done down here is I've created labs, and within those labs I'm able to offer blueprints for weapons, frames, sentinels, things of that caliber to all my clan members. And there's some of the top tier gear. Interesting thing, there are several different choices of warframes, or frames I should say, that you saw I ran through at the beginning. Each one of them comes with 4 specific abilities. You'll see me play as Saren, Oberon, and Frost throughout this. Those are some of my favorites right now. Pretty soon they're about to drop a DLC, well, not a DLC, I'm so used to saying that because of Destiny, an update which will include a new frame that I'm dying to get. What I just went to there is the solar rails. What you can do is invade certain map tiles within the solar area, certain place in the star chart, and what that does is it provides extra experience, loot, pickup rates, etc., for anyone who does that mission. But what you can include is taxes. People pay it to you if they do that mission. It's really interesting. The solar rail conflicts are fun. It mixes PvE with PvP, kind of like an open world friendly damage kind of thing that you can hear about on the forums of Destiny occasionally. Right now I'm doing a specific mission type in the Void. What I'm supposed to be doing is protecting these little systems while I just run around, try to get loot, etc. Some of the really cool things you can do in this game are the aerial combatancy. What you'll see is if I scope mid-jump, I actually slow down my frames, and it helps me kind of shoot while I'm in the air. Just kind of cool, Space Ninja stuff. Right now I'm using the Soma Prime. It's an assault rifle. You're able to mod it. Right now I have it doing elemental damage. That was one of Oberon's abilities. What it does is it picks him up and slams him on the ground, and anyone it kills drops health orbs. What you notice is going to happen once I get towards the end of the mission is I'm going to earn experience for some of my loot. That experience increases my mod capacity, and the mods are actually what determines the extra damage or elements that I can put on weapons, and they're really interesting. In this clip right here, you notice I have a fusion core marker on my HUD, my HUD, and someone else placed that down, which means we all get the same loot, and even better than that, someone can mark where the good loot is for me so I can just run up to it and grab it.
Another job well executed.
As you can see, I got some fusion cores, some crafting material. I'll explain the crafting in a later situation. Actually, I suppose I could now. What happens is you get crafting material as you go throughout missions, and that material is what allows you to create the weapons that you have blueprints for, as well as frames and whatnot.
Cephalon Jordis will make an excellent friend, don't you think? Jordis remembers many more Cephalon voices, but now it is only silence.
So what I'm about to do is an invasion mission. I'm fighting with the Grenier against the Corpus, and the team I was running with right now went AFK. So what I'm going to end up doing is leaving the squad here shortly. There is open chat, by the way. You can chat with your voice or with text. It's really simple to navigate through. There's a clan chat tab, a squad chat tab, a regions chat tab, trading chat tab, and recruitment chat tab. With the Grenier against the infested. I'm sorry. One of the beautiful things about this game that I like a lot more than Destiny is, if you notice in this clip I'm about to do here, imagine you just killed a thrall and he dropped, last word or an exotic. That's the equivalent of what's about to happen, and it happens every now and then.
I'm detecting infested biosignatures all over the place. You know what to do.
I'm just going through the mission, and the Grineer are fighting with me this time. I'm killing some infested enemies. When I see that. That's a mod for my bow that causes my arrows to explode. I didn't even kill the enemy that dropped it. And here my little brother invited me to a game, and I just wanted to show you the differences between the abilities and how the loot system works here. I was using Sarah, now I'm using Frost. I deployed a bubble that actually allows me to shoot out of it and doesn't allow someone to shoot into it. A lot better than the Titan bubble. The recharge rate of it's a lot better, and the duration's a lot better. This is a story mission my little brother needed to run, and the story mission, I would honestly say, is about equivalent to the content of story in Destiny. It's not as involved, but at least you kind of get a sense for things, I'll be honest on that one. Right now we're doing a survival mission. Basically, the more enemies you kill, the faster they drop life support. If that timer at the top left of my screen goes down, we lose. I can either initiate what I'm protecting right now, which gives me 30 life support, or pick up those markers on my HUD, and that'll give me like 10 or 5 each. My little brother's covering my back now with a tanky frame. If you guys remember in vanilla Destiny, having to farm for, on Earth for 4 hours to get some spin metal, it takes about 30 minutes to get the equivalent here.
It's massive. Empty. Where are they? They escaped? Wait. What's this? Don't do it.
Right now, my little brother used one of his buffs one of his abilities to buff our outgoing damage. And he also did one called Rhino Stomp, and it puts them in a stasis for a short time. And all the loot. You can pull out your melee weapon to do a little bit different attacks, a lot more effective ones. The thing I like about these melee weapons I'm using right now is if I slide an attack, I can actually punt them straight into the air with a kick. It's hysterical. Right there I used an ice wave attack. What it does is it slows down their fire rate, their movement rate, and it does a bunch of damage. And again, shortly what you'll see is the loot system enact again. My little brother was killing a bunch of stuff behind me, and one of them ended up dropping a blueprint for a really good shotgun. And nice thing about it is it shoots a purple beam up from where it dropped. That way you know something good's there. I'm trying to mark it for him right now so he knows.
Mod over here.
Sorry guys, I have a sore throat and I really don't feel like cutting several pieces of commentary. This is the modding system. He's level 30 with an Orkin catalyst put in. They call it a potato. I've increased my health, my shields, my armor, which affects how much damage is done to my health. The distance my abilities have when cast. Health regen over time. This is a cool laser beam I got from the Cephalon Syndicate. Trying to mod it to be just straight elemental damage. Putting gas on it so it creates AoEs whenever I kill an enemy. As well as magnetic damage so it just cuts any shields by 75%. And there are some other interesting mods like multi-shot and fire rate mods. Some let you shoot through, others give you bonus critical chance, bonus critical damage. Just really interesting things. It allows you to kind of strategize how you want to go throughout missions with your friends. Like usually most of my weapons are one shot, high hit, kind of glass cannon type things. Low magazine, low reload speed. I take out the big enemies that could kill us really quick. Kind of the high priority targets. The cool thing about the mod system is, have you ever gotten, a rare uncommon weapon in Destiny and you just so badly wish it could be endgame potential because you love the way it feels, you love the way it looks? Well, the good thing about the modding system with these is any weapon can become endgame material if you do it right. You mod your sentinel, your sentinel's weapon, you mod your melee, you mod your secondary, you mod your primary, and you mod your warframe. A lot of customization and strategy possibilities. As you can see, I'm kind of second guessing what I want to put in these slots. Took me about a week to finally figure out how I wanted to properly mod my Cyanoid Gamma Core. In the Void, and primarily the Void, there's a set loot table for every mission within the Void. And you have a good chance of getting well, you're bound to get one of those from the loot table. Some of them are more rare than others. Right now we're trying to get my little brother a prime rhino frame. That's within a tier 1 mobile defense. You saw me do one of these earlier.
This is a mobile defense mission. You must deliver payloads and defend a number of locations while I break into the network. Be prepared.
There are capture missions, kill a high priority target, and then hover over his body for a little while. Hive missions, which are specific towards infested. Those are kind of complex, really rough too. There's assassination missions, a boss for every planet, essentially. The cool thing about the Void, by the way, is there are certain obstacle courses that are timed that can give you mod loots. It has the potential to give you any mod within the game. So long as you have your maneuverability down and you take the time to search around and look for loot, you'll find it. I modded my machine gun so its bullets can shoot through enemies. Because I noticed a lot of times I was killing enemies so fast that their dead bodies would just kind of sit there and get in the way. And they'd become just body shields for the enemies behind them. And I really didn't want to waste my ammo because I run out pretty quick with this thing and it has a really long reload time. So I found a way around it. Here's where things get interesting. You remember when I told you about being marked by certain targets? Well, I killed a boss on a planet, so I got marked by the Stalker. He sent me a lovely letter talking about how it's time for redemption, and I can't run away from my sins. So I'm about to have a boss come to me. I really wasn't expecting, it's always whenever I'm farming, always. And when I'm by myself. Never shows up when I'm with the team. This is the Stalker. He's kind of the hard hitter lately. He's a big old hype in the frame right now. Everyone's working on farming him for loot. He has some interesting things to him. He does an attack that kind of projects a disco ball above you. Really rough. He has an attack that sends blade waves towards you. Hits you really hard. He also can send explosions to you. And as you notice, my damage has dropped tremendously on him right now. That's because weapon attacks really don't do anything to him anymore. He's also immune to frame abilities. But fortunately, I had this Cyanoid Gamma Core that was strictly elemental damage. So it was still able to hurt him since just regular bullets weren't. Trying to take care of the ads around me right now because they're really getting in my way. As you can see, I'm using a big old axe, but it acts as a scythe in the game. Cool thing about the Syndicate weapons is they create AoE blast damage after you've done so much damage and killed. I've almost broken down the Stalker here, as you can see. Takes quite a bit. In the meantime, I'm just hoping he doesn't accidentally kill that systems right there. But there's the disco ball. He's primarily out to kill me. Oh, he did kill the Orkin system. I didn't notice that while I was playing. AoE blast. Also makes him immune to damage shortly while he's doing it. Anytime he's casting an attack, he's immune. It's crazy. And there you go. He dropped loot as well. As you can see, I got a Dread Blueprint at the bottom there. And a mod. The Dread Blueprint is a bow. A absolutely fantastic bow that I still use. And this is PvP. I've always said a game isn't worth a damn unless it has a good PvP install. You would have thought with all the speedy maneuverability and whatnot that PvP wouldn't work in this game, but they slow down a lot of things and kind of regulate what weapons you're able to use. If you remember Inferno types in Destiny, there's something kind of similar here. Occasionally certain PvP modes, they have things such as bonus damage for the next 10 hours or bonus shield or energy charge for the next 10 hours, you know. Right now it's bonus damage and I am just shredding people. Level advantages are disabled, by the way, in PvP, so you don't need to worry about some tryhard coming in with his level, 30 friggin' shotgun hitting you from across the map. You just need to be worried about me. I will say though, with the PvP in this game, the queuing is kind of hard. If the host leaves, it takes like 5 minutes to get into a match. That's probably my only complaint. And then a Volt just had to completely destroy my kill streak. But I get him back here shortly.
One minute remains.
He thinks he's gotten away. He truly believes he has. Right now I'm using a sniper rifle and some pistols. and I get that vault back. He hit me with his ultimate, so I hit him and his buddy with mine. Takes a while for your abilities to recharge. And finally, something that's been a serious issue in Destiny. First off, I'm running through with the same pistols as usual. This guy thinks he can kill me with his melee only. Don't get fooled by this, guys. By the way, a lot of people do this in the PvP. All you have to do is, if you see them charge at you, jump over or roll under them to get some distance, and then just pop some bullets into them. It's a noob mistake. People think they try to out melee. All you gotta do is just keep your distance and you'll be fine.
The annihilation belongs to Team Sun.
I do him dirty with that bow. I gave him some time to react. Occasionally you'll end up in 1v1 matches like this. Those are the fun ones. I enjoy them. Oh, and PvP, by the way, bows and kunais, they're silent weapons. If you use those, you don't appear on the enemy's radar. However, if you use like guns, you do. So you can go loud to be more efficient, or kind of stealthy and just get the jump on them. You can see he has his sword out, so I just roll under him. I finish him with an ability, because every mission you do, whether it be PvE or PvP, there's certain tasks to do within that mission, and if you complete them, you get bonus experience. I gotta say, there are only two things I think I like more in Destiny than Warframe. One being legitimate weapon scopes. I do miss those. The second having to be, you know, if you pick a hunter, you have 3 options for grenades, 3 options for super, and, you know, 3 options for melee. Whereas the frame you pick, you're stuck with those abilities. But there are so many frames that, you know, you're bound to find the mix you want. Not only that, but you can mod it to add a little bit of your own personal touch to each frame. And finally, something we all get buggy about on Destiny, having to pay for emotes. If you notice right here, I get my stealth kill in the dome, and as a sign of respect, I give them a bow. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you want to join, just hit me up on PSN.